Hey guys, welcome back to Be Shifted. My name's Addison. If you haven't watched them yet, there are two videos previous to this in this playlist where I take apart the front suspension of the 72 Chevelle sitting right here. And then the most recent video that came out is the degreasing and prepping for the new parts to come in. I live a real life. I do not have all the time in the world to clean all these parts really quickly in a week and get another video out of all the new stuff going in. So today you all get to join me on how I'm doing my cleaning and prep work so that I can put these brand new parts on some protected parts that are not all rusty and gonna fall off. I appreciate your time. Thanks for joining. And another thing, if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. Do it. Right there. Click the notification bell and you'll also see every time I post a video. It's gonna get cool. Throw a comment in the comments section. Leave a like. Let's get to work. Using a regular cordless drill, 3 different wire brushes, and a paint stripping, what is this? It's like a paint stripping disc. Basically just brings you back to bare metal. That took almost 30 minutes. If you don't have a respirator, you need to get one. I don't care what kind you get, but breathing in rust is definitely not good for you. I want you to see, this is what this cartridge looked like when it was brand new, and this is what it looks like now. That's everything that I would have breathed in from doing the other lower control arm. I did the other one first to see how long it might take me to do, but that's impressive, and that's on both sides. So just make sure that you protect your lungs. You are not going to be here forever, and there's no reason to make that time shorter because you didn't want to buy, I think this thing cost 30 bucks maybe, and it came with 2 cartridges, some safety goggles, and some earplugs. So they're out there. Just make sure you get one. Back to this. The cordless drill method can get it done, and by hand would take even longer. I have a die grinder that I am going to use next on the other side and time it. I'm going to use the same stuff. I'm going to use one of these paint remover discs, the same wire wheels, and I'm going to time that and see what the difference is. Basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get as close to bare metal as I can. I'm using a rust converter paint to prep the surface for actual paint. Unfortunately, the only paint I could get my hands on was gloss black, so everything's going to be gloss black. But the closer you can get to bare metal with a minimum amount of rust that the rust converter needs to convert, I feel is the best. You want to have as clean a surface as you can, because the last thing you want to do is look down there when you're changing brakes and see all your paint flaking off. It makes you feel like crap because you did all that work and 2 years later it's already starting to crack and flake off. So do all your prep. this side with the die grinder. Much more RPM. I mean, it makes sense. That die grinder took care of this side in about 12 minutes, give or take. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. I remember using the angle grinder. One side took about 20 minutes. So it looks like the die grinder with these little down to metal crud removing pads are the way I'm going to go. And I'm going to knock this out. You all don't want to see this because 12 minutes here, 12 minutes here, 12 minutes here, you know what I mean? It's going to take a while. So I will get back with you all after this is ready for the rust converter. This is what that looks like, right? You all saw it before. It's pretty rusty, pretty gnarly. Then you come over to see what it looks like after some rust converter. And it looks like a brand new part. It looks so good. This is ridiculous. That's all I have to say about that. It's the moment I've all been waiting for. Parts. They all came, most of them, but I'll get to that. We have our sway bar bushings. Fantastic, brand new. This is for the 15/16 sway bar. diameter, that is. Brake hardware for the front. The brake shoes. Got new shoes for the front, like I said I would. Oh, yeah. It's our new center link. That's exciting. The center link, in case you don't know, connects the tie rods to the pitman arm that we learned in video 1. Now this is the box, the ever important box. By the way, I'm sure you can see my paint. You don't need to worry about my paint. It is, you know, I toyed with the idea of paying to get it painted, and then I remembered that every time my kids come in the garage, somehow, they go, "Oh, sorry, Dad." And I look around and I'm like, "What?" And they say, "Oh, I hit it with my bike," or "I ran into it with a badminton racket." Alright, this kit is from PST. They also sent the catalog, which is pretty awesome. They don't just have front end kits, that's what I got, but they have a ton of stuff. Go check them out. Again, I'm not sponsored by PST. However, it'd be really cool to get a partnership later on. So the kit that I got was the super front end kit. So it includes everything from the deluxe front end kit and then a little bit extra. Don't ask me what the extra is. Oh. Alright, as we found out in the first video, this is our idler arm. New Zerk fitting, that's cool. These are the tie rod adjustment sleeves. Should be 2 of them. 2 of the adjustment sleeves. I believe this is an inner tie rod. Got a Zerk fitting and a cotter pin. Nuts, obviously, on it. Awesome. We have our new upper ball joint. That's super exciting. Looks like there is a... Let's just, you know what? Let's open them up. Yeah. Nice and solid. You can't move that one. It has a grease point. Has the new hardware, the bolts. They're all black. That's nice. Cotter pin. Zerk fitting. Castle nut. Sweet. New lower ball joint. And after this, I'm putting all of this back in the bag. But oh yeah, very nice. So you remember I was talking about the shoulder in the first one, and I had to come in with a diamond tip bit and wear it down a little bit. This has one size for the actual reception into the lower control arm, and then it just has one lip here, and that is this outer, I think I called it the outer ring or the exterior ring, is actually quite a bit smaller, so you don't have that problem where the shoulder is too large for your cups. So that is exciting. These are, you also can't, I think you remember in the last video, I could do this and it wobbled around. Nothing going on there. That's awesome. I'm really excited. New sway bar end link. You got 2 of these, obviously. That's exciting. New bump stops. These are for the lower control arms. Yeah, I think I needed a new one. Or 2. You all remember the upper control arm bump stops. where I like kind of peeled it apart. There's our brand new bump stop there. I'll do a little bit of trimming to get the flashing off there. This is our ovular bushing for the lower control arm. This is the round bushing for the front part of the control arm, so this will sit like this. If you notice, when I was cleaning, my actual metal receivers are welded in, so I'm going to have fun getting those out. Got new alignment arms, 2 of them, so that's exciting. What you see here is everything I've got so far. I actually have ordered one more thing, and that one thing is integral to what I'm doing here, and it's a set of new springs. So I have discovered that the set of springs that I ordered are apparently made once you order them. So they don't have any in stock, just on the shelf. Maybe it just has to do with something with supply and demand or something, I don't know. But it's going to take 5 weeks for them to get here. So that puts us a few weeks away before I'm going to get those springs and we can put them in. Now, they are 1-inch lowering springs, which I redid I think I mentioned before, I redid the suspension on a 70 Oldsmobile F85, and I got stock height springs, and it felt like the car was lifted. And the tires looked really small, and the rims looked super small, because it was just a 350, and I went to a certain website where you can get things for super budget, but the thing is, the descriptions are a little lacking, so they don't really talk to you about compression height and engine size and all that stuff, and all of that stuff plays a factor into what kind of spring you want to order. So all that's being said, I'm going to do as much as I can with the time that I have waiting for those things to come. I'm going to clean everything, paint everything. That was the plan anyway, but now I have a little bit more time. Unfortunately, that means there's a little bit more time for you all to wait for this stuff to come in. But I'm gonna go through installing all of this stuff onto the old hardware, replacing the entire steering assembly, cleaning up the sway bar, preparing that for installation, and we're gonna get more into the nitty-gritty of what actually goes into cleaning some of these parts. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.